Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tevaron here with another Friday Night Magic. Today we are playing a Golgari control deck that was posted on the No Goblins Allowed forums by the Lockhammer. I'll put a link to that in the description if you'd like to check it out. We're going to be trying to basically out-attrition our opponents with this deck. I finally got my second Evolutionary Leap. Both of those are in here, and in fact that's the reason this deck is possible, is that the acquiring of that second Evolutionary Leap, because it's very integral to a lot of the strategies with Golgari control. Looks like we are facing an Is-It deck of some sort. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get our Elvish Visionary out there. See what. Okay, that's great. If there's no need to play anything at 3 mana next turn, I'll cast the Gatecreeper Vine and get another Guildgate to play. Just try to be efficient like that. Artificer's Epiphany is quite good, even if you aren't running artifacts. So I don't want to drop Nissa at this moment, so I'm going to go ahead and attack first. Maybe he'll trade off with the Perilous Myr, though I doubt it. It's not a very good idea at this point. And then we'll drop our Gatecreeper. Save the Woodland Cemetery for later. That can come into play untapped if we've got a basic of some sort out. Go ahead and get a Guildgate. And we will play that. And if all else fails, we can fetch up a basic with our Evolving Wilds to get our Woodland Cemetery online. Yeah, we're playing some kind of artifact synergy deck, maybe just a straight up Is-It Thopter, which I've seen quite a few of on here. Alrighty then. I think that we would like to get rid of Pia and Kira and Nalar. So we will just play our Evolving Wilds and then remove their soul. Well, reave their soul. And we'll go ahead and pass, because we're at the point that we want to start being just a bit defensive. If this guy comes in, we want to block that point of damage, especially if he drops the artifact pumper that most of these decks are running. Okay, so you're tapping down my Visionary? Yep. Alright, and we're taking 2 in the air because we can't do anything about those. Luckily we do have Languish in hand. Go ahead and block the Myr. No reason not to. We'll go and get a swamp. And I'm not sure whether I want to Languish right now. It wouldn't be a horrible play, but we're not taking too awfully much damage at the moment. But we have some targeted or single, this isn't targeted, removal in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and Languish. And then we can maybe use our spot removal to get rid of some stuff that he drops. Hopefully he doesn't just flood the board with Thopters. Doesn't look like he's going to. Telling Time's good card selection. Not really card advantage, as it just cantrips and replaces itself. But it does filter. He's taken quite a while to decide what he wants there. It's probably not a good sign for us. If he was having a hard time deciding what to put on the bottom, then all 3 cards were probably pretty good. Alright, so we want to start with a Visionary. See what we get off the draw. That's quite good. We'll go ahead and drop a Perilous Myr. And our Evolving Wilds. And we'll go ahead and search just to save a little bit of time. Get a Forest. Now we've got one of each basic. And if we're lucky enough to drop and flip Nissa next turn with him having not a lot of ways to deal with her, then we're in great shape. Ooh, Molten Vortex. Kind of the update to Seismic Assault. Alright, so let's flip Nissa. And hope he doesn't have Exquisite Firecraft in his hand to burn her out. Yes, please. Get a Forest, and we're going to play that Forest. And then we're going to +1 her to reveal the top card of our library. If it's a land, we'll put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, we put it in our hand. Okay? So either way, it is card advantage. And I'm going to go ahead and play that Gravedigger. And we will recur a Visionary. And just keep up the card advantage recursion kind of grindy engine that this deck wants to establish. If we could get an Evolutionary Leap or Shadows of the Past, we'd be in much better shape. Not that we aren't in okay shape as it is. As long as he can't remove Nissa, then we are pretty good. Alright, and that thing has haste because of her. She gives all of their artifacts haste. So that's just keeping Nissa away from ultimate at the moment, because he's not in a position to be able to kill her outright. But we would like to just stop this whole deal. I'm going to Reclamation Sage on this. Yes. And then we will Reave Soul this girl to stop his other Thopters from getting haste. Let's go ahead and use Nissa and see what we get. Alright, that's good. And finally, we will Fleshbag Marauder to get rid of that final Thopter. And we're going to sacrifice our Reclamation Sage for that, because our Fleshbag is a better body. We'll swing on in. We might even get to the point that we are able to ultimate Nissa this game. Just depending on how much of a defense he's able to put up and how much damage he's able to do to her to keep her off of ultimate. I do find you rarely ultimate planeswalkers, especially in this game. The game's usually over way before that would be an issue. We do have an answer to that, though it's going to give him 3 life when we destroy it. When it dies, its controller gains 3 life. Must be thinking about something. Not really sure. Either that or he's forgot to push continue. Okay, so he finally lets us take our turn. We're going to +1 Nissa right off the bat. Alright, so we got an evolving... Oh! What now? Oh, just a little bit of lag there, I guess. I was wondering what was going on. So, we'll go ahead and sacrifice that. Thin out our deck a bit more. Get a forest. Then we will Visionary. And we're not going to cast that right now. We are going to destroy that and get in for 2 damage total. Because he does gain the 3 life, and that'll cancel out 3 of the 5 damage that we are swinging for this turn. But we are succeeding in whittling him down and having a board presence while denying him one, which is basically the entire focus of this deck. Alright, digging with Telling Time main phase. Looking for answers. There's not really a board sweeper in blue-red unless he can get a creature out and then Chandra's Ignition it. Okay. Has flying as long as you control an artifact. Well, that is... Well, he has conceded there, been replaced by AI. I do wish that when someone conceded, it would just give you the win instead of making you play out the game versus the AI. But that is a prime target for our Gilt-Leaf Winnower. And then we can swing through unblocked. And Cruel Revival is a really good card. It's instant speed removal, and we do have a few zombies in our deck. The Gravediggers and the Fleshbag Marauders are zombies as well. So we do, a lot of the times, do get the Return a Zombie card from your graveyard to your hand effect as well. Ooh, Displacement Wave, going to bounce a bunch of our creatures. We are 1 short from killing. Maybe we'll top deck a Gaia's Revenge. And we don't. That is fine, though. Put him to 1. And set up our board. Don't know what the AI could have up their sleeve except just stalling the game out longer. Go ahead and play that. And the reason I did that is I actually do not want to flip Nissa now. Let's go ahead and play the Visionary first, though. We might have something we want to play instead. Okay. Don't need the Languish. Just get more bodies out there to have a greater chance of being able to deal that 1 point of damage next turn. And I'm going to play the Reclamation Sage as well without a target. As I said, it's very unlikely that he could sweep our board. He would have to play that and then have 2 more mana than he has to Chandra's Ignition it. Yep. Still not going to do it. And we have won this one. Just pass on over. We're not going to bother to play anything. We're just going to swing for the win. Good deal. So, this is not the best hand that I can imagine, but we do have land fetch, and he's mulliganing 5. So I'm going to keep this. And they have conceded. I don't know that I blame them on a mulligan to 5. Though, once again, I really, really would like if a concession was an actual concession and just gave you the win, and you didn't have to go ahead and play the game out. Drop our Gatecreeper Vine. And I'm going to get a swamp instead of a gate, because I want to be able to drop Liliana next turn. Or maybe even Nissa if I'm wanting to get the land and assure our land drop the next turn. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Nissa and make sure we can make our drop next turn. Yep. In a control deck, that's usually a very important thing. You want to generally be making your land drops every turn because you're doing a lot of mana intensive things over the course of the game. That's fine. I mean, we have recursion to get her back via Gravediggers and even one Necromatic Summons. Okay. So we will start with a Visionary. See what we get. It may change our decisions, and it really doesn't, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a Perilous Myr as well. And it looks like we're actually matched up against the same guy. I didn't think so at first. You know, you could have whatever avatar that you want, and I didn't make an effort to check the guy's name last time. But this does look like the same deck, though that could be a coincidence. It's not like more than one person can't have the same style of deck. Alright. Let's drop Liliana pre-combat. That way if he wants to block and kill something, we will get her flipped. And barring having a Fiery Impulse in his hand, he can't kill Liliana right now. So he does not, I keep saying he, it's the AI at this point, does not want to give us a flipped Liliana. Can't say that I blame him. I would not like to have a flipped Liliana versus me with this much protection either. Ooh, Scrapyard Mongrel. Those guys are big. With the Perilous Myr out there, he's a 5/3. But we have an answer to that. Go ahead and winnow that guy down. Yes, we want to use that ability. And we want to swing with everything except for Liliana. We do not want her to die. He could kill her by blocking with his Perilous Myr, then dealing the 2 damage that you get from it going to the graveyard to her. She would not flip because none of our creatures died. Right. There's a Fiery Impulse, and it's 3 damage now, so he's getting rid of Liliana in spite of our carefulness. And there's our Evo Leap, which is pretty good. Wish we'd have had that a turn before. We could have flipped Liliana with it. It's okay, though. Go ahead and put it out there. And commence the beats. Alright, so he's going to kill 2 of our critters right now. And I do not want him to kill that with no gain. So I'm going to sacrifice it to get another creature with Evolutionary Leap. We get a Perilous Myr. That's fine. We'll Go ahead and play the Perilous Myr. Barring some sort of miracle, we've pretty much got this game on lockdown, which he did mulligan to 5, and it is the AI, not a human being, we're playing against at this point. Hello, Juggernaut. Think you're about to get cruel revivaled. No, you're about to get Reclamation Saged. Reclamation Sage is so good in this meta. There's so many enchantments and artifacts that are relevant. Yes, please. And the posse goes for the face. Three more damage and this game is over. Hello, Perilous Myr. You can't block my Gilt-Leaf Winnower. You have to have 2 creatures to block him. So, do you have another? Oh, there's a second creature. That's fine. We will Cruel Revival him and guarantee our lethal damage. We do not have a zombie in the graveyard to recur, but that's fine, because we are winning this game anyways. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, so the third and final game, and hopefully we will not be matched up against an opponent who is going to concede on the first turn this time. We are matched up against an opponent who has invested the money to have foils in his deck, though. Doesn't necessarily mean a good player, but it does mean a player who cares about his card, the way his cards look, I suppose. Yep, lots of foils. Is everything foiled? Maybe not the basics. Can't really select it individually there. Go ahead and get a blocker and a land. Yes, please. We'll go ahead and get a Guildgate, just to make sure of having enough proper mana of the appropriate colors. That's what I mean. So, straight up Dimir. Very likely we'll be facing... Ooh, it's just... maybe just flyers? Can only block creatures with flying. Generally, when you're seeing straight blue-black, they're winning with Sphinx's tutelage, but that may not be the case here. We will go ahead and drop a Woodland Cemetery. And I'm going to get an Evo Leap out, just so I can start cycling through to some better creatures. We'll have our Gatecreeper Vine to block his Myr with, and then at the end of the turn, we can sacrifice it to look for something a little more beefy, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright. Read the bones, scry 2, then draw 2, and you lose 2 life. And we should be getting smacked for 2 here. No. Anything post-combat? Nope. We'll go ahead and cycle our Creeper. Okay, Perilous Myr is fine. And we will drop him, and I think I'm going to reave that Drake as well, just since we don't have any flyers to deal with that. And it's pretty useless at this point to have dropped Fleshbag Marauder. He'd have just sacrificed the Myr instead. Alright, what is this? Oh yeah, it's the '06 wall. Don't see that played very often. I'm going to block this. I don't see any reason not to. And that way our Fleshbag Marauder can kill his wall. Or maybe not. I would say he's probably going to sack the wall. Let's try to be clever here and hope that he makes the wrong decision. Because I'm going to try to kill both of his creatures here. If he's smart, he's just going to sacrifice Jace and keep his wall. If not, he's going to lose them both. If he sacrifices his wall, I'll kill it with the 2 damage from the mirror. And he was smart. So that's fine. At least Jace is not in danger of triggering on us, becoming the Planeswalker. Can deal much more easily with the wall than I can with an active Jace Planeswalker. Okay, and we're getting close to casting Gaea's Revenge. I'm going to go ahead and cast our other Evo Leap. Blue-black doesn't have a really good way to get rid of it, though he could bounce it to my hand and then counter it when I try to replay it, so it's always nice to have a backup in play. Against white or green, you got to be aware of enchantment removal. Okay. And we are about to get our beat on with Gaea's Revenge, which he can't do a ton about. Here we go. Gaea's Revenge. The bane of non-green control players everywhere. No use to really attack with the Fleshbag. Well, I guess there was if he was going to block the Gaea's Revenge with that wall. I would assume if I'd attacked with both, he would have just blocked the Marauder. So maybe I should have attacked with both. Okay. Gravedigger up the wall again. Maybe. Nope. Perilous Myr. I guess that makes some sort of sense. He could double block my Revenge with both of those and kill it. I'm not going to allow him to do that, though. I'm going to Cruel Revival on the Myr. Yep. I very much expected that. And I would have Evo Leaped those, except I would rather play my Visionary and just get a straight up card draw. And he needs to... Not only that, but playing the Visionary protects my Gaea's Revenge from a Fleshbag Marauder from him. That way I have another creature to sacrifice other than the Gaea's Revenge. It doesn't protect it, however, if he manages to Languish and then cast a Fleshbag in the same turn. Reave Soul. Well, it won't protect it from that either, I imagine. Fleshbag down? Maybe. Necromatic Summons, okay. Getting back a Gravedigger, perhaps? Something of mine? Ah, Fleshbag that way. Okay. So it was the Fleshbag, just not in the way that I had thought it would come. And we will Gatecreeper. We're going to get a basic forest. Then I'm going to go ahead and Evo Leap this. See if we can get something a bit more conducive to winning the game. I mean, that is somewhat better. Go ahead and play that. And we may even Evo Leap that thing at the end of his turn. I don't know for sure whether that's something I'll want to do. It just depends on what we see coming from his side. And yes, I'm going to Evo Leap our Myr. You can see the power of Evolutionary Leap here and just letting us blaze through the deck and upgrade creatures as we go. Go ahead and Gatecreeper again. Yes, we want to do that. And get another forest. And sacrifice it. Okay, that's fine. What do we get this time? Another Gatecreeper. That's fine again. We'll do the same thing. This time we'll have to get either a Guildgate or a swamp. No, we had a forest left. I thought we got the last one last turn. Didn't see one in the batch. We do have another Gaea's Revenge in here, and that would be... Ooh, Liliana's pretty good too. I'm not going to play her right away because next turn I can possibly activate her with the Fleshbag Marauder, and that would be very good. Barring a counter or some way that he can kill her in response. And there are a few ways to do that in blue-black. Alrighty. So, actually what I'm going to do is pass the turn, and then at the end of his turn I'm going to make some Thopters with our Foundry of the Consuls. Or Consuls. Yeah, Consuls. And you can sacrifice those tokens to Evo Leap as well. Please. Yep, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. And now I'm going to attempt to activate Liliana. I'm going to get 2 points of damage in first, though. The way we're going, the discard's going to hurt him a whole lot more than it'll hurt us. Which sacrificing a token does not activate Liliana. Looks like he's going to kill her in response anyway. That's fine. We've got ways to recur her. Go ahead and thin our deck a bit more. Rogue Passage is useful, but so is making sure we don't draw land and just draw gas from here on out. Okay. And I'm going to keep our Thopter for now. We'll drop the Rogue's Passage, that's fine, though he doesn't have any blockers at the moment. And now it's just kind of grinding on out until the end. Don't want to play my Reclamation Sage at the moment. Never know when we're going to see a Sphinx's Tutelage pop up. Necromatic Summons, that is quite useful. Confirm. We'll see if there's anything that we would rather get than our Gaea's Revenge. I don't think there is. So we will do that next round. Because I just didn't remember we had the Gaia's Revenge in the graveyard. I was thinking about the Liliana. These games kind of run together when you play them back to back like that. Which is not to say that this won't just get countered straight up, but we're going to try it. No. We want revenge. Okay. And we'll swing for the win. All right. And thank you guys so much for joining me on this Friday Night Magic. Again, the link below will take you to the deck list on No Goblins Allowed. And until next week, keep shuffling.